Coming up in today's full flight video from Leeds to Fuerteventura. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to what is another full flight video on the channel. They seem to be doing well, so we're going to continue with the theme of doing full flight videos. As you've seen from the title, we're going from Leeds Bradford Airport here in the north of England, and we're going to go down to Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands, where hopefully the weather is a lot nicer than it is here, because the weather here at the moment is horrible. Very rainy and wet, and yeah, not nice at all. Just before we get started, I just want to thank everybody for their continued support on the channel, especially recently. The videos have done quite well recently, got quite a few new subscribers recently, so I thank you for that. If you are watching and you're a regular and you aren't subscribed, feel free to hit the button and you'll never miss my videos, and it obviously helps me out as well. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there because I do appreciate the support on the videos. And yeah, I'm basically just doing what I enjoy, which is full flights, so yeah. So obviously in the Jet2 Holidays livery, and yes, once again we're in the 737 because it is my favourite. I will do some Phoenix A320 videos soon, but I'll just do what I fancy at the time, because this is what I would have done whether I was filming a video today or not. Just actually get the weather, if you give me 2 seconds I'll go into my other screen, get the weather for you guys, because it's not very nice. So the weather here at Leeds is 170 knots. That's the, there you go, that's me reading the wrong thing on the, I was reading the TAF and not the META. So the META is 140 at 18 knots, with light showers of rain, it says. Fair enough. And obviously scattered clouds, and the QNH is 0984, so quite a low pressure over the UK for this time of year especially. Obviously we're in April, coming into May, we're in the middle of April really, so down in Fuerteventura it is 020 at 16 knots, so fairly blustery as you'd probably expect for the Canary Islands, but it is a lovely 24 degrees Celsius, so compare that to here where it is that right? 4 degrees? I am impressed by that. 5 degrees on the plane, so yeah, it must be right enough. Wow. I mean, I live in the UK, I live in Scotland, not up here, but I'm surprised by that. Anyway, I've been rambling for probably about 5 minutes already now, and I've not done anything. Just been appreciating the livery. But yeah, let's get ready as the passengers come off the bus. Let's get all set up. So I'm going to take this a little bit different now usually. I'm going to take it a little bit slower, just in case there's anybody that's watching that wants to try and recreate the flight, and I'll try and if I can leave the SimBrief flight plan down below in the description as well, so you can go to that if you want to use it. So first thing I'm going to do is go to FS Actions and set up the fuel and payload for the flight. So our block fuel is 15368. That helps fuel into fuel. It estimates that we're going to burn on route 11.5, so we've got a decent amount left over. Payload wise, the zero fuel weight estimated is 62.6, so we are heavy. We are very heavy. A lot of people wanting some early spring sun. As you can see, 99.4% load level. So that's that all set up. What we can then do is go into the FM. In fact, before we do that now, we can align the IRSs. So just put them both to nav. We'll just do some overhead flows as we go at the moment. So we can leave this all as it is for the moment. Again, leave it all as is. Can arm the emergency lights. What I'll actually do is just put on the panel lights because it is a bit dark. And I didn't actually mean to set the brake there. We can fire the bits on because we've technically fueled. Window heats we can put on for the moment. We'll leave the probe heats. Can stay as they are. Can leave the air conditioning panel. Don't think people are going to be overly concerned with that at the temperature. We're initially cruising today. I don't know if we've got any step climbs, but initially saying 320 probably because we're so heavy. And I've got the logo steady light on. And I've put the wing and wheel lights on just because of the weather. If I was doing a walk around, it would maybe be beneficial just to have them on. As I say, we'll not do the walk around obviously because what's the point? It is a lovely livery. It's from the flightsim.to store, so it's readily available. Anyway, what I'll also do is I'll just set that QNH, which was 0984 I believe. Hectopascals, there we go. So that's set. So anyway, position, we're at Leeds, so Echo Golf November Mike, and we'll just take our GPS position, file that in, that will align the IRSs. Going from Leeds to Fuerteventura, so it's Golf Charlie Foxtrot Victor. As always with a company route, just download it straight from SimBrief, saves us having to fire it all in. Flight number, we're ChanX 249. This has come straight from the random flight generator, so that's where it's getting that from. We're taking off from runway 14 apparently. Well, that would make sense with the wind. We'll activate that and execute it. We'll go to performance. Reserves, I haven't got this open, hang on a moment. It's saying 2.9 on the reserves. Don't know what Jet2's cost index is. We'll have 15, I'd imagine it's low. 320 to begin with. Transition altitude here, I do actually have the charts open for a change, so we are at Leeds, so that's the wrong one. Charts, departures, 5,000 feet, and we'll execute that. It's not a very long runway at Leeds, so I'm actually just going to not put a D rate in, especially because of the weather.
Passenger's bus is coming.
What I'll also do is do the departure, which this is where I think SimBrief's flight plan's a little bit wrong, or not wrong, but it hasn't given us a departure. Yeah, it's not given us a departure. It's our first waypoint is Barton, which there is not a SID for, so what I'll probably do is just leave it and we'll go direct to our first waypoint. Not ideal, but it is what it is. We're not, if you know my videos, I'm not about doing things exactly right all the time because there's plenty of other people out there that will do that for you. So trim's 6.34, we'll just set that in now. Take a wee while for this one. 6.34 is 6. That's probably about right there. We'll just put in the, why not, let's put in the winds and stuff for a change since it's actually a bit horrible in general. So weather, we will populate. One day I'll do videos where it's a little bit more in depth and I'll show you my other screen so you can see what I'm looking at. So the METAR, we are 14018, so 140, so it's straight down the middle of the runway, which is helpful. It's wet, and I don't know what the runway slope is, so we'll just leave that as it is. So look at that, V1, because it's wet, is decreased significantly. But V2 is 158, so we'll set that into the MCP, so 158. Well, again, as always, not on VATSIM, so we'll initially climb up to 12,000. I don't know why I picked that, I just do. In terms of heading, we'll just set 140 or 14. I'm not actually entirely sure. Let's go with 137. That looks about right. We'll go flight director on my side first for master. LNAV, VNAV. It's not actually going to arm LNAV because we don't have a departure, which is fine. We can put the yaw damper on. We'll have a little look. So 200, that's the final of passengers. Obviously it's holding 214 passengers onto a plane that only actually has 184 seats, but that's just GSX being GSX. So what that means is we can now get ready to go. So we will put the fuel pump on and start the APU. Someone had mentioned to me that it's the forward fuel pump that you put on. I think again, I'm not about realism, you can actually start the APU without putting any of the pumps on, but yeah, I believe that depending on airlines and things like that, it's actually either of the left fuel pumps you can put on, but again, you don't actually need it on to start it in the sim, or I don't know if that's the case in real life, but yeah, just to mention it. So as the APU starts up, as a fire truck drives through the terminal building here, this is Orbx, Leeds Bradford Airport. I had enough orbs, as Orbx call it, and just got this with them. And obviously this is a Jet2's base, so probably fly out of here a good few times. In Fuerteventura, I can't remember now who it is scenery, but there is scenery for it. It'll be down in the description as always. So that should be the APU on, which it is. We'll flick the generators over. I'll actually ask GSX to get ready to push us back. I'm going to parking brake is on, and we can remove the chocks now because we're over to APU power. And I'll just move this over to the climb page. So hopefully GSX is... didn't realise they were... Poor little guys, still got a few bags to do yet. I guess we can just have a little look around the plane. At least it has stopped raining for now, which is obviously nice, but I'm actually quite looking forward to going. Most of the flights that we've done in the channel, especially recently, have had pretty nice weather. So this will be the first in a while that's had it's not the worst weather in the world, it's just typical British weather, to be fair. Again, I always have this where I'm not sure if it'll let me put the auto brake on, and I can never remember if there's a reason. No, it won't. It's just one of those things I just leave until we can. We're not going to need de-icing treatment
due to icing conditions,
because
stand by for engine start until push
there's
is completed
definitely
and brake
no
is
ice
set.
build up on the plane despite the temperature. And again, I'll just start the engines as it pushes us back.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So here she just walking over the baggage loader there. Anyway, what I'll do then is we'll fire all the fuel pumps on now because we're going to get ready for engine start. APU bleed can come on. I'll turn the engine bleeds off.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Pro Peats can come on. Anti-collision light can come on. We can turn the wheel well off. We'll ding the cabin to say we're about to push back. I can do some of the lights actually, is what I was meant to do. Just because it's very dark in here. I feel like I'm actually forgetting something. This always happens. Yeah, we'll go to 1000.
Locking gear.
And I'll just stick it onto TARA now, and that way I won't forget. But again, not that it matters, we're not on VATSIM. We'll go there one day. I used to fly a lot in VATSIM when I was a bit younger and things like that, but I'll maybe delve into it, especially if it's what people want to see. So we'll push back to the right.
Release parking brakes, please.
I think that's right anyway. Yeah. Had to think about that for a moment.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Again, we're just going to ignore that. We're going to start the engines because I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think GSX gets that on the basis that you might be by starting the engines up, you'll be kicking like snow or ice up or whatever if it was proper icing conditions, which it's obviously it's not. Might be wrong, but we're going to go for it anyway. So, as always, just double check we're all good, and we'll flick engine 2 to ground. Waiting for 25% on the N2 down here. There it is, we'll fire in the fuel. And we just about have a good start there.
Please set parking brakes.
GSX wants to set the parking brake, so parking brake's on. I had to start our switch cut out there. We'll just tell GSX we're good because I can't be bothered waiting for it.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
And we'll start engine 1 as well. Again, just waiting for 25% and then we can fire in the fuel. There it is. And off we go with the engine.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
So we have 2 good starts. So, final thing we have to do, I believe. I say I believe like I've never done it before. We'll flick the generators over. APU can come off. Hydraulic pumps can all come on. Packs can come to auto. Engine bleeds can come on, APU bleeds off. Starter switches to continuous. And we'll set flaps 5 and do a controls check. Just as the rain starts again. So there's the flap set. Now, interesting fact that you might know, you might not know, and I believe I'm right, is obviously we have a master caution at the moment for doors, and you can see by the lights here we've got left forward over wing, right forward over wing. That is because the emergency exits actually lock once the throttles have been put. I think it's either 40 or 50%, I think. So what you'll sometimes hear if you're in a 737 is them maybe ramp the throttles up a little bit, and that's to get the doors to the emergency doors over the wing to actually lock. Didn't know that until, well, I knew that a wee while ago, but I'm sure that is somewhat correct. Anyway, I'm rambling. We're ready to go. I'm just going to put traffic on this and terrain because why not, and let's make our move towards the end of the runway. Need a bit of power to get us moving. Taxi light can come on. We'll put the turn offs on as well since it's horrible weather. There you go, as you can see. Give the throttles a wee ramp up and the master caution goes out. We can just set the auto brake to RTO now as well, and the light should go out, which it doesn't actually. Interesting. I don't know if it's because we're moving. There we go. I don't know why that didn't want to set there. Never had that happen before. Yeah, I'll not cut out the taxi this time, guys. Make this video a bit longer for you. So obviously at Leeds we've got to head on to the runway and then spin around at the other end. What I actually meant to do was start the block time clock, which I forgot, but it's fine. Just make this up as I go along. Hopefully the wing doesn't clip the side of this BA plane here. Plenty of room by the looks of it. Yeah. So as we're heading on to an active runway, we'll need to put the strobe lights on. We'll also put the fixed lights on, and then we'll put the retractables on once we're clear for takeoff, but once we go to takeoff. It's all very technical, I know. Interesting slope onto the runway there. So we'll make our way to the end of the runway then. We'll just double check at the moment we're all good set wise, continuous. Air conditioning is fine, hydraulics are all on, pro peats are on. RTO, and be an interesting initial climb out again because we don't have any departure SID, but that's okay. Horrible weather, but it should make for a relatively interesting departure. We might even get an interesting arrival out of Fuerteventura, or into Fuerteventura, just due to the windy conditions. There's obviously quite a high uphill slope here because it's, even at 42%, despite the weight, this plane is struggling to keep 10 knots. This looks downhill to me. Here we go. We'll give it a whack of power again just to get us up this incline. There we go. And we are on runway 14. So we'll just stop, put the retractables on, we'll arm the auto throttle. There we go. Last little look at the wing, and let's go. 40%. Stale. Take off. And also starting the clock. Like a pro.
Airspace alive.
That's checked. checked.
V1. Rotate. V2.
There we go. Just need to be careful with the slope there, and up we go.
Positive rate of climb.
Here comes the gear. Just needs that bit more trim. I'm just going to follow around the magenta curve myself. Like so. We'll whack the heading round to intercept. We'll go Command A and LNAV hopefully. There we go. Here comes back the throttle. Don't think we've got any restrictions in the climb, no we don't. So here come the flaps. So, starting to accelerate away now. Those horrible rain bands. Wasn't as bumpy as I was actually expecting on the way out. So, auto brake can come off then, landing gear can come off, starter switches can go back to off. And I'll just turn the retractables off just to help us with less drag. Again, not actually sure if that does anything towards the sim. Standard pressure. Yeah, I'm not sure if that actually has any effect on the aircraft in the sim. I just know in real life it would. And I'll try and stick with you guys here until we break out of the clouds, which hopefully won't be too much longer. Actually might need a bit more light coming in. Scott is arriving into Fuerteventura at 16:53 Zulu, so it should still be nice and light. Obviously we haven't put the arrival in yet for Fuerteventura, but we will do that in the cruise, so hopefully bring you guys back for that. Still not breaking out the clouds. Oh, there we go. And back in. Horrible, horrible day. So we're at 10,000, so lights can come off, which is interesting. Can't see a thing. I did want to have you guys stick around for us breaking out the clouds, but it doesn't appear to be happening anytime soon. We've actually got more rain. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still looks incredible in terms of the effects and the clouds. Oh, is this us breaking out? There we go. Look at that. It's not even quite breaking out, there's still clouds above us yet. Interesting what the throttles are doing. It's actually because it's so gusty. And there we go, schoolboy error, I forgot to put us up to 320. Absolutely schoolboy. So off we go, we'll continue that climb. See, if I had left you guys, I might not have noticed that. Look at this weather, look at these clouds, wow. It's incredible. This is what I love about the sim. This is all default weather, default cloud textures, just alive weather, and it looks incredible. There's nothing comes close to how this looks, in my opinion. And to be doing it in 4K in the PMDG at currently 105 frames per second is good. I've heard a couple people say that frame generation is cheating. I mean, I don't know how you can say it's cheating when it's just a feature of the graphics card, and I appreciate in some games it doesn't work quite as well as in others, but Flight Sim is one of those games where frame generation absolutely makes sense. It's not that fast paced. There's very, very limited times where to the naked eye you'll ever even notice that it's kind of ghosting effects and things like that. You very rarely notice it in Flight Sim. It's absolutely perfect, and if it allows you to run, I mean, there's actually a rainbow down there. Wow. If it actually allows you to run 4K, I might just screenshot that, I think I've missed the rainbow, but if it allows you to run 4K with this kind of frame rate in this complex aircraft with add-on sceneries and things like that, then yeah, it just looks amazing. Wow. But yeah. Anyway, I have been rambling for about, I think this might be 30-40 minutes maybe, so I'm going to leave you guys. What I'll do is I'll do my usual cruise shots, and then hopefully I will join you to set up the arrival a bit later on into the flight. But for now, I will leave you guys and enjoy the cruise shots, and I'll see you when we are setting up the arrival. If I forget though, which might happen, I will see you in the descent. But yeah, see you then. Hello and welcome back. You see the time in flight is only 21 minutes, and you might be wondering why we're back. We're actually just going to put in the arrival for Fuerteventura. I have this feeling that I'm going to forget because I need to go away and do something at the moment, so just in case I get caught up and forget to put the arrival in, so we'll just do it now, just out of pure need for time. I've already done the cruise shot, so hopefully they looked okay. So yeah, departure and arrival. I actually need to put up the flight plan as well on my other screen, just so I can have a look at it. So we are into runway 01 at the moment. I'll just double check the weather. I mean, obviously this could change, and we'll change it on the fly if we have to, but yeah, 02017, and has been that all day. In fact, let's just look at the TAF. Yeah, it's expected to actually get windier. It's actually it's talking about it going to 030 at 15, gusting 25. But again, we'll be fine for runway 01. But again, we'll change it if we have to. We'll go with the Yankee. I always pick the Yankee ILS if there is the option. It's the Tert 7 Sierra, I think. Yes. I wonder what the movement was there, so we can execute that. Now, last time I tried to fiddle with the FMC on arrival is when the sim crashed, which was when we were flying from Seattle to Vegas. I had to restart the flight, which was not ideal. Now this looks interesting. This has got crashing written all over it. So we need to come basically SOTAD to Livery. Yes, that's correct. Ah, shoot. Please don't crash. Thank God for that. And I think basically that should take us straight in, and then if we have to go around, it's to go and hold at tender, which is fine. So that looks, don't see any discontinuities there, but just have a final look. It all looks okay to me. So back to map, and yeah, we're cruising at 320 the whole way there, so that's fine. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the cruise shots, and I will see you in a few hours, or it's seconds for you, when we're on the descent into Fuerteventura. Hi guys, and welcome back to the flight. We're on a descent down into Fuerteventura now. Conditions at the airport haven't really changed. It's not gusting quite as high as was forecast, so it's, in fact it's very similar to what we're already on. I'll refresh it again. Yeah, so it's just updated 10 minutes ago. So we're 020 at 16 knots, cavalcade, and the QNH is 1017. So we're absolutely fine with the weather. So I was just definitely checking I had recorded everything. So we're on the descent. It's an interesting approach. I don't know if I've maybe brought you guys back a bit early, but basically it's going to bring us round here, and all of these waypoints we need to be between 8,000 and 6,000 feet, so it's going to be a slow descent. What we probably need is a little bit of drag to get the speed down in time for the 250 restrictions, so we'll just bring the speed brakes out now. I believe that's Lanzarote over there, I'm sure. Yeah, it definitely is. So we've got the speed brakes out, that will help us bring the speed down. In terms of setting up for the approach, we can put our approach reference in, so we'll go flaps 30, 3,400 metres runway, 11,175 feet, so plenty of room. I believe it's got quite a large displaced threshold, so it's probably not quite as low. The actual runway's probably not at that length after you've factored in where the touchdown zone is, but again we'll be fine. So flaps 30, we just need to put the ILS frequency in, which is 1095, so we'll just put that in on both sides. So 1095. There we go, and we'll make that active, and we'll do the same on the other side. So 1095, and fire that across as well. In terms of auto brake, we'll just go with auto brake 2. In Fuerteventura, the weather is it's 22 degrees, so it's still nice and warm for us. I'm just looking at the charts on my other screen, but there's nothing crazy about the approach. In terms of minimums, it is it's 292 on the barrel, so we'll just file that in. Not going to need it, I don't imagine. It's a little bit hazy, but it's to be expected around this part of the world. But again, it's no clouds or anything. Weather's fine. So we'll just bring the speed brakes in because the throttles have come in there. So I think that's the airport down there. So obviously we'll do the big looping turn around to land on runway 01. Been in the air now for 3 hours and 52 minutes, so not too bad at all. So we've got the auto brake set, approach references set, and the ILS frequencies in as well, so we're all good. All good there. Seatbelt signs are already on, which is fine. Just going to pull that speed brake out because we're starting to get a little bit high on the speed again, and we do need to be at 250 at 10,000, so seems to be struggling a wee bit, but it's a bit par for the course for the 737. It's never been the best at slowing down, I've noticed. Making the left turn. Waves look kind of choppy. Obviously got some the white tops on them, which usually means it's potentially a bit rough. Oh, I don't know what I've done with the descent rate there, that's crazy. There we go. So I think what it basically is, if we go to the legs page here, so yeah, we need to be below 8,000 but above 6,000 pretty much the entire way round until you get to SOTAD, in which it goes down to 5,000 or above. So we'll have a descent, we will have a descent rate as we come round, but it won't be very high, so it gives us plenty of time. I've also got the QNH set up, flight transition level at 9,000, just so we're set up again that little bit earlier, just because of the strange restrictions. There isn't a set transition level, it's set by ATC at this airport, and obviously we're not on VATSIM or anything, so we're just going to made it up myself. We probably didn't need to follow this approach quite the way we are in terms of bringing the speed brake up as well, because this is where we're going to have the slow descent rate, in terms of having this little left turn to make it a kind of outward loop, but it's fine. Also, we'll just fire all the landing lights on, why not? You can already hear the throttle coming in because this is going to be an incredibly slow rate of descent as we come round. Look at the outside of the aircraft. Sun's still decently high in the sky, so plenty of light for the landing. So yeah, we're just coming up to the next waypoint where we're doing a little right turn. I mean, if you look at the we're not actually even descending at the moment. I don't know if we're waiting to get to this waypoint here. Have a little look in the wing view as we turn round. Running at 120 FPS at the moment as well, which to be fair you would probably expect, and we're mostly over the sea at the moment as well anyway, but just in case anyone's wondering. Make that right turn round. You can hear the throttles come down as we start to begin that descent. Very shallow descent as well, by the looks of it. If anything, this will be a nice slow. I'm nearly tempted to fly this manually, but at the same time maybe not. The scenery as well is MK Studios Fuerteventura, which I meant to tell you in the beginning of the episode, and I forgot who it was that had created it. So yeah, it's MK Studios, so should be expecting pretty decent quality, and most of their products are good quality, so that's always a benefit. I'm surprised to not see the aircraft wanting to descend. I mean, you could say, nah, I was going to say we're maybe going down really, really slowly, but we're not. I've never actually been to Fuerteventura in real life. Been to Tenerife, been to Gran Canaria, been to Lanzarote, but I've never been to Fuerteventura. I'm probably just making assumptions, but I'm sure that I've always known Fuerteventura is the quiet island, if you want to call it that. There isn't as much to do in Fuerteventura as there might be on some of the other islands. To be fair in saying that, I haven't been to Lanzarote. Lanzarote was a fairly quiet island, definitely compared to the likes of Tenerife and things like that, where it's quite a busy, popular destination. So we're 25 miles out from the runway as well, so we have got a long way to still go yet. Probably should have changed the approach myself, or vectored myself, so that we didn't have to take the long turn out the ways, but it is what it is. Just makes a longer video, which isn't necessarily bad or good, so we'll just roll with it. As I've been saying at the beginning of the video though, I do appreciate all the support on the channel recently. It's been surprising, because I'm just uploading what I would be doing potentially anyway. Obviously I'll maybe take requests for flights and things like that, but yeah, it's been great to see all the support recently, and I do appreciate it. Just going 4 hours on the flight time there, which is pretty much what we expected, I think. So the weather was stayed a bit bumpy as we came out of Leeds and down towards London and things like that. I think there's been a few diverts at London in real life today, so, and thunderstorms and such, so we've probably done well to get the weather we did when we left Leeds, because I don't think it's been overly amazing. So there comes the throttle down. I'm just going to arm the localizer, because this will take us on to our final approach course, I believe. when we come in at SOTAD. We've grabbed the VOR, and not the VOR, we've grabbed the localizer. Apparently, anyway. I'm not sure how much I believe this. Let's just go. There we go. It hasn't actually grabbed it as such. It's kind of making this up as it goes. We're just going to do heading select and we'll just intercept it here. Go. No need for the flaps or anything yet, still a good bit out yet. So I'm going to arm localize it again in hopes that it grabs it a little bit better. Probably my fault for clicking it so early. Still below the glide slope, which is good. Hopefully we'll grab the localizer any second. There it goes. With that I'll just arm approach, because we are about to grab the localizer. The glide slope, sorry. There we are. Shot through the localizer ever so slightly, but nothing that it won't correct. And what I'll do is I will just VS, slow it down a little bit until we've grabbed the glide slope. Just so we've got a nice continuous descent. Speaking of continuous, we'll just do the, I would say, before landing checklist or approach checklist, but I don't have a checklist, but we'll put the starters to continuous. We'll just put all the lights on as well, why not? Approach is armed, auto brake is 2. We'll arm the speed brakes, I don't reckon we're going to need them. I'm going to go flaps. No, I'm not, because we're still 15 miles out. Yeah, I was going to go flaps 1, but we don't need flaps 1 yet, I don't think. What we'll maybe do is we'll maybe put flaps 1 out at this decel point. So I will bug to 200, just as we hit the glide slope there. Because it's decided to bleed off the descent to catch it, which is fine. So yeah, I think we'll go flaps 1. Yeah, let's do it from this angle so we can get a nice look. So flaps 1's coming out. We will bug to flaps 1. You can see the wind starting to, we've got a tailwind at the moment, so that's not going to help us slow down. In fact, that might prove to be more of a challenge than I actually realised. So we'll just go, we'll bug to 175 at the moment and we'll go flaps 5. isn't a very big tailwind. It's bleeding right off now. Actually, it's probably going to start spinning around as soon as we go past these mountains, I'd imagine, or hills. I don't know if you'd class them as mountains more than maybe hills. In fact, it's now gone. Go around the altitude's 4,000. We'll just set that.
2,500.
I'm going to go gear down just to help us get some drag, because I don't want to use the speed brakes if I can avoid it. The flap 15 maximum speed's 200 knots, so we'll go flap 15 just as we hit 200. And we want 155 as our VREF. Just redo that, there we go. Going to go for an outside shot here. Just because I want a screenshot for the thumbnail. There we go. There we go. So there's flaps 30. I'm spending far too much time doing that. There we go, there's a wind just coming into play now. So what I'll do is I'll take control. It's very windy actually.
1,000.
Kind of putting us all over the place. Can already see this large displaced threshold. Don't actually know the reason for that. I don't know if it's got something to do with these winds, that it potentially would be a bit more of a hazard if you were lower down, then it would cause more of a hazard, because it was quite blustery there as you come past the hills. Just make sure we don't lose that speed too much. We go a little bit low, just trim up a little bit, there we go. A little bit off the side.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing. Looks like we've got a bit of a slope on the runway, so we'll just need to be careful of that.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Oh, lovely. I've just managed to grease that in the end. Hopefully the landing rates come up on screen for you there, guys, but I will tell you at the end of the video in case I forget to put it in the edit. And we can stow the reversers, and welcome to Fuerteventura, down here in the Canary Islands. Flaps are coming up then, we'll start cleaning up the aircraft, slow down a little bit so we can get organised. So auto brake can come off, all the flaps can come off, file the throttles out a little bit just to keep us on the move. And keep it coming round. There we go. We'll start the APU. There we go. So let's pick a gate, shall we? Let's go with gate. We'll go with gate 18. I have no idea which one that is. Let's go with Swissport. We'll go to the outside view to try and guess which gate it is. I think it's 1 over. Yeah, I don't think we're too bad. Just going to remove terrain off of the page there. Should have stopped that clock earlier, but it's fine. Yeah, I think we are over here. Put TCAS to just transponder. Yeah, there's our rear stairs. Flick over to APU power. We will turn off the taxi light so we don't blind the ground handler. This looks like us here, gate 18. And of course there is 2 lines, because I would always pick the awkward one. It's fine. Got a wee bit overexcited there with the speed. Let's see if we can nail this. Oh, come on. Ah, I see we messed it up. Parking brakes on, and we'll kill the engines. All the fuel pumps can come off except the one for that. Seatbelt signs can come off, hydraulics can come off, prop heats can come off, and turn the window heats off for the now. APU bleed can come on, anti-collision light can come off as well, and we can ask GSX to begin deboarding. And hopefully, even the jetway's working ideal. So, welcome to Fuerteventura. Hopefully I'm actually pronouncing that right, but... yes. Nice wee flight down today. And the weather is much nicer here than it was back home. If only it was me in real life. Because I would much rather be sitting in this weather, that's for sure. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the flight, guys. As I say, I've appreciated all the support on the videos recently. It's been tremendous. Again, as always, if you've got any suggestions for any places you want me to go in particular or anything like that, feel free to give me a message or leave a comment, whatever you want, and we'll do our best to see if we can accommodate. But yeah, guys, in the meantime though, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later.